We made the next steps on all these areas. We are prepared today to declare to you that we have decided to create a scientific center to support science in Russia from the United States, Germany, and Russia. These three states will work together to create this powerful scientific center. In his turn, James Baker said that the United States is interested not only in cooperation, but is willing to spend $25 million to help create it. U.S., he said, is prepared to provide resources and technical assistance to dismantle and destroy nuclear weapons and guarantee weapons security. Both sides expressed their desire to sign a comprehensive convention preventing the production of chemical weapons on the planet. In the discussion on the economic reform in Russia, Yeltsin said the United States is providing us with comprehensive support, including help to become members of the IMF and the World Bank. On March 1st, additional credits for grain purchases will be provided. Yeltsin asked for $600 million in additional credits. The presidents of our two countries will meet in July in the United States before the G7 industrialized countries meeting. Russia and Poland have a common task of economic reform, and this common task could become the basis of improved Russian-Polish relations. This was the opinion expressed today by Russian Parliamentary Speaker Ruslan Khasbolatov at a meeting with a Polish parliamentary delegation. Meeting with the Polish Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman Venda, Khasbolatov said that good neighborly relations with Poland will be a top priority of foreign policy. More international news. Tomorrow in Moscow, a government delegation of Czechoslovakia will arrive. Concerned with our domestic troubles and the search for Western help, we have neglected relations with our closest neighbor and most important partner, Czechoslovakia. Only now, Moscow and Prague are beginning to undertake the necessary cooperation and mutual activity. A large Czechoslovakian delegation led by the Prime Minister Marian Chalfi arrived today. Mr. Prime Minister, what issues will be the most important at the coming negotiations? The Russian Federation is extremely important for us as a partner. We are connected by economic and other interests. Our relations have a long history, and they're now beginning a new stage of development. I want to improve the future of our relations and also decide the issues which remain from the past. We are determined to increase cooperation, especially in economics. This is the main goal of my visit. Today in Lebanon, a day of mourning was declared because of the death of Abbas Mousavi, the General Secretary of the pro-Iranian group Hezbollah, who was killed in an Israeli air attack on a column of vehicles in Lebanon. The Palestinians, acting on the principle of blood for blood, have called for retaliation. Israeli Defense Minister Aaron said that the action was undertaken as retaliation for the death of 3 Israeli soldiers at the Jordan River. Hezbollah called for a general mobilization, and 10,000 people have already signed up for a new holy war against Israel. In Tehran, the Organization for Economic Cooperation is meeting. In addition to Pakistan and Turkey, Azerbaijan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan are participating. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan are present as observers. In the United States, in the city of Manchester, there was a debate between the main candidates for the Democratic nomination for president. The candidates decided to act with caution and hold back their sharpest criticism of their opponents. On February 18th, there will be the first primary elections in the state of New Hampshire. 10 days ago, among Democrats, the main favorite was the youngest candidate, the governor of the state of Arkansas, Clinton. But scandals have fallen on his head like an avalanche and have seriously undermined his chance for victory. The press accuses Clinton of all mortal sins: infidelity, dodging the draft to avoid fighting in Vietnam, contacts with scandal-plagued banks. The Democratic voters now support the former Massachusetts Senator Tsongas. In any case, the voters will support whichever candidate has an economic program which is in their best interests. And what are the predictions on the Republican side? Opinion polls show that President Bush still has a large lead over his only opponent, the conservative publicist Buchanan. In Croatia, the latest ceasefire has been violated. Croatian forces opened fire on a column of Yugoslavian army vehicles. One of the soldiers died. In an interview with an Italian newspaper, the Croatian president said that the Yugoslav army should leave Croatian territory. There can be no other decision. In Lisbon, a meeting of the foreign ministers of the European Community countries has begun. They discussed the situation in Yugoslavia and the Mideast and have set a date to begin help to the countries of the Commonwealth of Independent States. In Northern Ireland, terrorists attacked a police station. In the crossfire with British soldiers, 4 attackers were killed. The police believes that this was an action of the Irish Republican Army, which is conducting an armed struggle to force the British Army out of Ulster. The restoration of statehood and peace are the priorities of the Algerian government, said the head of the Supreme Council, Boudiaf. After the recent events there, the situation is relatively calm. Security forces are rounding up fighters from the Islamic Salvation Front. Japanese authorities refused entry into that country of the superstar and leader of the Rolling Stones group, Mick Jagger. The land of the rising sun has refused him entry, not for in the past as well. He is on a blacklist because of his preference for narcotics. Jagger says he beat his addiction long ago, but simply forgot to get an entry visa. We plan to show you several reports from cultural news, but we now know that at the Winter Olympics there have been several important events. Therefore, I welcome our sports reporter, Vladimir Tapitsky. Good night. The first gold medal today was awarded in the 4x5 kilometer women's cross-country relay. Our team's performance in practice gave them a good chance for their third medal in the 4th women's cross-country skiing event. After the first leg, our girls, under the leadership of Jelena Velbe, were beating the Norwegian skier. In the second leg, Norway's Helen Nybarten held a lead over 9-time Olympic medalist Raisa Smitanina, but as they turned into the stadium, Nybarten overtook Smitanina. Everything then depended on Larisa Lazutina. She caught and passed on one of the uphills the Norwegian skier Dubendal, and in the final leg, 2-time Olympic medalist Lyubov Yegorova beat Norway's Jelen Nielsen. She was already out of sight of her nearest competitor at the finish line. Norway was behind by 22 seconds, and Italy won the bronze. Now you see our speed skater, the German speed skater Gunda Niemann, fighting for her second gold medal in the women's 5,000 meter race. In second place was Heike Warnecke of Germany and Claudia Bergstein of Germany. Our skaters Lyudmila Prakasheva, Svetlana Borka, and Svetlana Bajanova came in 5th, 6th, and 7th respectively. Unfortunately, our great speed skater Lydia Skoblikova has been absent from the world's speed skating stadiums for a long time. She won 6 gold medals in her time, but our speeds are not so good now. So in speed skating, we have no hope for a place on the pedestal. The women's supergiant slalom was to take place today, but wet snow and rain made the track dangerous for the athletes, so the race was postponed for 24 hours. The French skier Carla Mull is expected to win. She is the queen of the Super G. The team competition in the Nordic combined had an unexpected beginning today as the Japanese team took the lead after the 90-meter ski jumping competition. In second place is the Austrian team led by Klaus Zunzenbacher. The third team is Germany, and the Commonwealth team is in 9th place. So after 36 Olympic events, the unofficial medal tally is led by Germany with 8 gold, 8 silver, and 5 bronze medals. The Commonwealth has its own store with 6 gold, 4 silver, and 5 bronze medals. At the current time, you see live pictures of ice dancers in the free program. After 2 days of competition, the leaders are our skaters Marina Klimova and Sergei Ponomarenko. The French brother and sister team Duchesne is in second place. Tomorrow we will find out, or shortly after midnight, whether the jury prefers our skaters skating to Bach or